Well, good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Random Thoughts. I'm glad that you're with me today. Well, no, first of all, I want to say I hope you guys all had a wonderful and blessed Easter. We did here at Faith. We had a wonderful, wonderful turnout. Choir did very well in our opening song. I'm giving kudos to everybody who participated with it. And now we are back in the saddle again. And we're back at it. And we want to continue our little mini-series here in Random Thoughts on the practical side of Christianity. We've gotten, you shall have no other gods, with some point, you shall not make for yourself any graven images, you shall not use the Lord's name in vain, honor the Sabbath day, and then last time it was honor your father and mother. Well, today we come to a toughie. What do I mean by toughie? Well, there's a lot of aspects to this next side, practical side of Christianity. If you figured out which one it is yet, good, because we're going to go at it right after this. Well, I hope you figured it out that we are going to be talking about the commandment, thou shalt not murder. Now, why do I say that it's a toughie? It's easy. You don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to kill anybody. You don't want to murder somebody. But where it gets a little tough is how Jesus says we need to interpret and use this commandment as Christian people. If I get mad at somebody, what? If I get mad at somebody, it's as if I have already murdered them? You've got to be kidding me. It's that tight of an interpretation? That's how Jesus interprets it. So, we've got to watch our P's and Q's, to use a figure of speech. We've got to watch our anger, our response. Yeah, I mean, there's this wonderful thing called flying off the handle. And every once in a while, this one kind of flies off the handle a little bit. And then some people might interpret this commandment, say, well, if I can't get angry, I just might as well bottle it up. Well, you know what happens when you bottle up anger? You get depressed. And then all of a sudden, the worst that could happen is you fly off into a fit of rage and really potentially hurt somebody. That's a no-no. See, that's what happens. People apply this in the context, well, if I can't get angry, bloom, and it blows up. So what do we do about this? Well, number one, when the moments we start to sense anger, and usually we start to sense anger when we start to sense fear. I'm afraid of something. I'm afraid that something is going to go wrong. I'm afraid that something is going to happen. I'm afraid ... right? Well, then you go, take a deep breath, whatever you need to do in order to bring that emotional levelism down. I wonder if, and I know this is a question that really is not answerable in one way, shape, or form. I wonder if how many murders, how many assaults, how many just bad words spoken that cause other people to feel so bad about themselves that they do some harm. I wonder how many could be avoided if someone would just have calmed down. That's one of the practical sides of thou shalt not murder. There's another one that was written roughly about 700 and something years ago, called Luther. Small Catechism wrote this in the context of the fifth commandment. We should fear and love God so that we do not hurt or harm our neighbor in his body, but help and support him in every physical need. I think that's a great thing. You think that I'm going to get angry at somebody, and in the context he's saying, I get angry at somebody about something that they may have or don't have. But instead of doing harm to somebody, instead of getting so angry and upset that I want to do harm to somebody, what can I do to better them? What can I do to raise somebody up? What can I do to lift somebody up? And it takes that split moment of refocusing on the key element that we fear and love God. So that we fear and love God. We fear and love God because God has done this wonderful thing for us. We fear and love God because God has done this wonderful gift, has given us this wonderful gift. We fear and love God because He has taken on all the anger, the angst, the abuse. Think about it a minute. Why were the Jews so angry at Him? Now, if we think that anger is a secondary emotion, meaning another emotion triggers our anger and our fits of rage, which is, drumroll please, fear. If they would have tapped into why are we so afraid of Jesus that we're so angry at Him that we wanted to kill Him, would it have ever happened? I'm sure God would have found a way because Jesus had to die in order to forgive us of our sins. That's the beauty of what God did. Even the anger and the fear that all these people, the Sanhedrin, the Romans, the guards, and all of this, that He had died for them. And He even talked about them as He's being nailed onto the cross. You know what He said about those who put Him on that cross? Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. You know, when somebody gets angry at us, we have this natural tendency to lash back at them with equal and opposite reaction. We lash back at them in anger. If they're going to do something mean to us, well, 9 times out of 10, we're going to get right back at them. Jesus modeled the way not to break the commandment, but with a way to fulfill the commandment by saying, Father, forgive them. He knew what had to happen. He knew what was happening. He knew it was for the forgiveness of sins that He was dying on that cross. And He wanted those people who put Him there out of anger and fear in their breaking of the 5th commandment. He wanted them to receive the forgiveness that God had given through Jesus. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's a model. I mean, we're not going to be perfectly doing it in the way Jesus did it because Jesus is perfect. But the reality here is simply this. We have an opportunity to not get so angry that we want to hurt somebody. We have a way to diffuse that. And that is just by saying, God, bring calm, bring peace to me. I fear and I trust in You. I fear and love God so that I will do whatever it takes to help the person, not to harm them. And that just changes the attitude. There's a few other techniques that we can go over. Unfortunately, we just don't have a whole lot of the time in which to do it. But the bottom line of that is this. Just show the love that God has given to you and help your neighbor in a way that will diffuse anything that you are facing. Would you like to have a comment about this? I would love to have a conversation with you about this. So please let me know what you're thinking, what you're wondering about, and then we will talk about it. All right, that's it for today. I look forward to seeing you Sunday. Our theme for Sunday is the certainty of is. He is worthy. Guess who we're talking about? We're talking about Jesus. So please join us 10:30 on Sunday morning. You guys have a great rest of your day, great weekend. We'll see you on Sunday morning. Bye-bye.